For a challenge, I created the strongest Nomad in Project Zomboid and traversed half of Kentucky with her. But her path was strewn with massive hordes, military roadblocks and obnoxious helicopters, but she always had her trusty weapons to keep her safe. Alas, no weapon will save you if you don't have the mental capacity or desire to save yourself, and with the constant setbacks and the general reality of zombie apocalypse, even the strongest would crack. But not Strong Woman. With March Ridge lying ahead, a town no one ever wants to visit, she's now even more determined to pull herself through and make it to the Louisville airport.
Well, the path to the airport is still long and full of terrors, and since our direct path to March Ridge is blocked, we're gonna have to find a way around. To be honest, I'm kinda excited by this detour, even though it's probably gonna take the whole day and we're gonna have to ride some country roads. I'm gonna take this opportunity to explore 2 new locations added in Build 42 that I've not visited before. So we're gonna be stopping by a lake resort and also a water treatment plant. But until then, we have a lot of empty roads ahead. Now we're getting closer to the civilization again, and there we have a small settlement here. I will show you all this on the map later on so you kind of have the idea where this is. But yeah, we are beside a giant lake that actually has some islands that could make for really cool bases because nobody's ever going to be able to get to you. In any case, we made it down here to the water treatment plant. To be honest, I have no idea what to expect here, but I guess we'll learn soon. There are some zombies here, but nothing too special. Now, I'll gladly take a look at that car they have parked here. Although, it's not in a very good condition, is it now? So I guess we'll just murder some zombies and break our axe. We do have some like tall fences here. This could make for an interesting base location for multiplayer. You would very much be far away from everybody else though. Oh, look at that. We got pork here. I do wonder if you can actually go and fish from those ponds. I cannot imagine that fish would want to live in there. But since in PZ you can fish from swimming pools, why not here? But then again, you do have a giant lake right next to it. So that's probably better. There is another big building down here and another truck. Okay, I want to check that one out. And we have plenty of space in the back here to deal with these guys. So we'll just go one at a time. Now, I also want to apologize if maybe I sound different today. My face is swollen and my mouth is full of stitches right now. In fact, I'm really not supposed to be talking and recording quite yet. But you know, I thought there's gonna be a lot of driving this episode, which means less talking. What could possibly go wrong? Well, you can certainly never go wrong with a new hood. Also, I don't think these zombies can ever get out of there. How did they even get in there is the question. Oh my god, this could be a perfect sneaking training. You kill the rest and then just sneak past these while they're inside. They can't break these tall fences. Let's see. Am I getting any XP from this? Yeah, I am. Oh yeah, you kill all the zombies and then just run around sneaking past these. Perfect. Of course, that also works if you're high above some zombies and can't get to you. Anyway, that was the water treatment. We found something interesting here at least. Now we're gonna drive all around the lake and check out the resort as well. I gotta say, I really like this area for like wilderness survivor playthrough or something like that. Lots of trees, lots of lakes, lots of rivers, lots of everything. Truly perfect and peaceful. Well, we made it all around the lake. And this is our entry to the resort. Let me show you the circle we made. This here is water treatment, and this is all around the lake, and this is like a giant lake with a bunch of islands and such. And this here is the giant resort. I'm gonna assume there's gonna be about 1 million zombies here, but I don't necessarily want to go into resort proper anyway. Just take a quick peek on their parking lot. So yeah, definitely do not want to go in there. I just wanted to see if they had any cool cars. They have raccoons, so there's that. There are some cars, not sure if they're worth fighting for. But you know, when in Rome, you definitely shouldn't be drinking cafe near any of the big monuments. You'll be paying triple the normal rate, if not more. But I guess that's common sense. Common sense that I did not have when I was like 17 and was there for the first time. Man, was I surprised how much that shit cost. But that was half of my lifetime ago. I'm like a wise old old oak now. Anyway, this old oak is now gonna check some cars around here. See if there's any gas to be siphoned. Spoiler, there's no gas to be siphoned. But we do have a very high quality hood here. I might wanna borrow that. Ooh, this one has a almost full tank. I'll be wanting to borrow that as well. Unfortunately, not everybody agrees with me on that part. So I got some work ahead of me. But as always, nothing strong woman couldn't handle. Actually, she's getting kind of winded. So we're just gonna take a quick break. Then we're gonna quickly fill up the tank. And then steal this gas. And steal some more. Well, my gas tank is full. So we steal the hood as well. And then I think we'll leave these zombies to their resort. It is actually kind of getting late in the day already. So I gotta keep on moving. There's a bait shop on the way out with a couple of zombies. And there is also a broken down gas station on the other side. But we're just gonna beeline for the March Ridge now. There's no secluded farms where I could spend the night around here, nor can I take the main entrance because it's blocked by the military. So I'm just gonna park here on the side of the road. I'm gonna do some vehicle maintenance quickly and do some foraging, see if I can find some food or such, so I can have a nice dinner before I sleep the night away. Now that it is morning, we go onwards towards March Ridge. Let's be real, why would anybody ever want to go March Ridge? I do not know. Because besides military apartments, is just shit of a town. And since there's only one entrance to drive in, we are entering it on foot. That's gonna be fun. Well, this is like an apartment complex area, which generally is basically 3/4 of March Ridge. Really, most of March Ridge is just housing and housing and housing. I guess all the soldiers had to live somewhere. And there are some neat places to loot for your general survival runs. There's a gas station here and there's like a big or decently big mall complex here. So you have places like that medical center there. And most importantly, there's a VHS store back there. Which, to be honest, in Build 42 is not as useful as it used to be. Because you can only learn stuff from VHS tapes up to level 3 unless you change that in settings. There's also a military bunker deeper into town which we're totally not gonna visit. I feel like that would be just asking for trouble. And let's be real, trouble is the last thing a strong woman wants. She's all about peace and prosperity. If we ignore almost the 5,000 zombies she killed. So yeah, I'm just gonna see if I can loot some trash here. And I don't think we're gonna mostly just move on from March Ridge. This is really not the town where I would want to be. Not a place worth risking your life for. Even if it does allow you to reach 5,000 kills. And then quickly cross it. I'm killing these 50 zombies here. Just so I could check this garbage can as well. That mushroom was totally worth it. And I think I will say goodbye to this place. Maybe just see if I can hunt down a raccoon. Little guy's too sneaky. Not too sneaky. Poor strong woman. Now I'm gonna butcher this poor thing before we climb the fence. And that was totally worth it. To be honest, I would never hurt a raccoon like that in real life. But strong woman's gotta survive one way or another. Now we're gonna ride towards my favorite town, Muldra. I'm probably gonna be hitting some military blockades again, so I gotta be careful. We already have a bunch of zombies in the road. Oh yeah, just as I expected. That is a proper barricade with very tall walls. These guys were not joking around. Oh yeah, I already see zombies up there and in the forest, so they're just waiting for me. I don't think strong woman is qualified to get past this security check, but I can check these crates around here, which held absolutely nothing of interest. But maybe these ones here will have something for me. That's a big nope. Well, if you can't get through, we'll take another detour, meaning I have to drive all the way back down to March Ridge and take another road. This is gonna send me on quite a road trip, as this detour also allowed me to, well, accidentally run over a rabbit, so we're gonna be eating that as well. Also, I have found a shortcut. Potentially a dangerous shortcut to ruin your car, but a shortcut nonetheless. See, this allowed me to skip around and I'm gonna be approaching that blockade from the other side. I did notice there's some tents in the wild there. I'm gonna go check out what happened here. I guess this lady happened, but these guys have some cool stuff on them, and I'll take it all. And since I do have an axe, why not chop down a tree, right? Then we can light the fire and cook our rodents. There you go. And now, if this fire spreads, who cares? We got some cooked meat. Now, we're gonna continue up here to approach Muldra from the south side. And I'm gonna drive straight through and see if I can get myself to the gated community. Now these roads are quite full, but there are some side paths I can take and get myself into this area. I fully expect to have to be fighting for this. There's about to be plenty of zombies in here, and I might even use my crowbar for this, just to make things simpler. Clearly Strong Woman wasn't the only one who was planning to set up shop out here in the gated community, but she's gonna be the only one left standing after this. That's the plan, at least. Well, that's much better now. Seems like we dealt with most of the zombies in the vicinity. I do want to check the trash can, of course. Drinking all of that maple syrup should definitely help with our weight problems, because Strong Woman is still losing weight. But all she needs to do is make it to her extraction point on time, and she's gonna be fine. And this is where we stay the night. And that maple syrup finally helped turn up her weight.
As expected, March Ridge was a bust, but a full belly was worth visiting even the worst town in Kentucky. Now Strong Woman has Muldra at her feet. A town with so many interesting places to visit, she'll have to skip half of them. But it's also a town that military thought would be a great idea to completely blockade. And once she's done with it, there will be no easy way out towards West Point. The question now is, how much time is she gonna risk spending on exploring and looting, and how much time is she gonna leave herself to find a way west? Both could be crucial. Both could help her reach the airport on time, or fail and leave her stranded with no way out.
There should always be some kind of a way out, right? And if one person can find it, oh well, that's gonna be Strong Woman. Now for my first day proper in Muldra, I'm gonna drive back down to southeast part of town, the area where we entered the place yesterday. First, I want to check this new industrial area, see if we can find something useful in here. Well, the answer is probably gonna be no, but there's not that many zombies around, so it's definitely worth checking. There's bound to be something special in here, right? Well, there's definitely zombies in here, and that one's got a hatchet for me. I also found some extra weapons I can use, but otherwise nothing special. So we're gonna be moving towards where I really want to go. That is gonna be the new police station. Oh yeah. That is a beautiful place. I think we go crowbar here. I think that might be needed, as police tends to be pretty occupied these days. You would expect all these employees to be out in the field, right? But no, they're all back at the base. Can't blame them, to be honest. After all, there are zombies out there. Who would be crazy enough to be traveling the world when there are zombies out there? Especially if you're not strong like Strong Woman. And let's be real, none of these police officers are strong like Strong Woman. So yeah, they stand no chance. There is still a lot more streaming in. I thought it was time for a hockey stick, but maybe it wasn't. Or was it? Maybe it was. Well, one thing's for certain, there's gonna be a lot of police zombies to loot, and a lot of nightsticks to grab. Well, they did finally break my hockey stick, so it's iron bar time. I was hoping there'd be some cool police vehicles out here, but there's nothing cool about these guys. The only cool thing is that they die fast. And they will all die. Now we can even start some looting. Or maybe not quite yet. There's so many police officers to loot, I could stay in here for a day. Probably not be able to loot them all. I will steal the ammo from their guns. I have a feeling I might need that when we get to Louisville. Still a long way there though. Lots of pistols where I can eject magazines. Or shotguns that I can unload. I won't be able to take everything though, but I will take what I can. That's a quite nice new stack of magazines. And the zombies keep on streaming in, almost like they are attracted to something. Funny enough, they all know a way around this fence. No matter how far they need to walk, they'll walk it. So I don't really feel safe going in here. Where are you hiding? Oh yeah, the bastards are streaming in. Now it's the time to fight again. And definitely not inside. I did want to check what they have out here in the armory. I didn't expect much with how looted this place was, and yeah, there was nothing here. But do I dare go downstairs? It does seem decently empty, but it also means it's probably empty of loot. My assumptions were correct. There's some food in the trash I can eat at least. Oh, some respiration filters down here as well. That was totally worth it. Let's go check the chief's office upstairs. He is home. It looks like his place has been looted already. Well, I spent most of the day looting this place. I can hear more zombies coming in. So maybe it's time, we leave this place and go back where we can spend the night. It is quite smelly out here anyway, so let us depart this premise and let us push through the suburbs. That's my way back to the safe house. There's definitely gonna be some garbage to take out here, but you gotta do what you gotta do to stay safe. Luckily, I've done a pretty good job the night before, so the trash is minimal. Another day, another adventure. Today we're gonna go check out some warehouses and storage units. Again, on the police station side of the town. Looks like they've been broken into, so that's good for me. But first, we're gonna stop at this warehouse right here. It even looks like it hasn't been broken into, which is nice. So hopefully there's gonna be something good to loot here. Not outside though. Also, I'm hunting rats now. Not just zombies, but also rats. Vermin can be perfectly good food. Don't let anybody else tell you different. Better that vermin than this vermin, to be honest. Plenty more vermin in here. I have actually seen something very good in one of these boxes. There it is, packer bag. This thing you can get from your antique trade, and only as the antique collector. And you can see the capacity is huge, and encumbrance reduction as well. So we're gonna go from 36 to 49 capacity. I lie, it's actually 63 with all of our trades, which is insane. Strong woman can now basically carry more than most of the cars on her back. And the bag itself looks really cool. So yeah, that was a huge find. Oh, and our antique trade is firing today. That is an antique katana. And that is another antique katana. Looks like Strong Woman just woke up and decided to be the luckiest bastard ever. Now, with those amazing finds in hand, we're just gonna move slightly forward. And then we're gonna stop here at these storage units. This might end up being a big battle. So I think we're gonna go crowbar here. You know, better safe than sorry. I wouldn't want to risk her life now, since we just found so much good shit. Although they are spread out enough that I can switch to an axe. Train that skill a bit as well. Although I gotta say, axe is pretty high as well. Spears on the other hand, oh yeah, we're low on that. But maybe at some point I should start learning. Today is not that day though. Today we stay safe. And we check what we got in here. Those scary bastards. And otherwise, a whole lot of nothing. There is of course more to loot in here, and this is the scary part. Because you never know where these bastards might be hiding. Sneaky beaky bastards. The problem with those is you don't even get to hear them. They just sit there and wait to jump you. In any case, that place was pretty empty. I did catch a mouse though, so we got that going for us, which is nice. Now we move on, again through busy streets. And I wanted to go to this small warehouse over here, but I think this is too busy. Maybe if I go in from this side though. And once again, we switch to the crowbar. And we take it nice and easy, one zombie at a time. We'll still got plenty of daylight, so we got time. Just gotta be careful. And we use the car as a barrier, so it kind of confuses them and they don't know where to path. You know, spread the love a bit. It's starting to look a bit better, a bit more clear. And that is all I can ask for, right? Now I can actually enter in here. And let's see what we've got. It does seem like it's been pretty looted already, unfortunately. But maybe we can get our antique trade flying up again. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. Unfortunately, not this time around. I did find an obsidian blade, which is kind of cool. Not really my weapon of choice, but it can deal a lot of damage. Although it's probably not gonna last long. It will serve for now, and maybe my high maintenance skill is gonna keep it alive for a while. I should let these guys break the doors here though. You know, they could do my job for me. Well, they are too slow. But we do have more incoming. A lot more incoming. Well, in the end, besides that obsidian blade, this wasn't really worth it. But maybe some of this trash here is gonna give me some extra food. I mean, who doesn't like eating from trash? That is perfect. Now, I think it's time we spend the night somewhere. And I know just the place. Even though at first I kind of missed the road to the place. In the end, I made it. We'll have to deal with these, of course. And then when everything is peace and quiet, which apparently is not gonna be anytime soon, hey, I even managed to level up Short Blade. This reminds me of the time where we lived in West Point on my community server, and the streets looked like this every day. Yeah, West Point can get pretty wild, and we'll be visiting it soon. Now, how about that peace and quiet I was promised? There we go. Now I can peacefully go and butcher my rats. That's perfect. And I know just the place where I can cook them. Oh yeah. So delicious. We're gonna be eating mice for dinner today. Now the rats might make her slightly sad, but a good night's sleep is gonna fix that. Now it is slowly time to leave Muldra. Also, it's definitely time to replace this hood, but that is my last spare hood, so we're gonna need to find some new ones. I do have plans where I could potentially do so. We're gonna be visiting McCoy's logging grounds today, and since I'm pretty sure that the northwestern part of Muldra is blockaded by the military again, we're then gonna be taking the rural roads towards the back of West Point. But one thing at a time. First we say goodbye to Muldra proper, and then we go check McCoy's for loot and vehicles. Alright, there's one parked here. I'll be saving my katana today, and I guess I'll be breaking my spear on the second zombie. Never mind, we switch back to the pipes then. Pipes will do just nicely. And indeed it did. 81% of that hood, I will gladly steal it. And this place does seem pretty looted already. So we'll swing back and check this one out first. Also, maybe some of these vehicles. This is an 89% hood right there. And my backpack now fits one. I know I'll be needing one going through West Point anyway. So, you know, might as well grab a spare. Now let's see what we got in here. It's definitely not looted, so these boxes here could have a lot. Well, I guess I'm not the only one trying to find stuff in here. So come on in, boys. Ooh, I even got a key for this place, which is sweet. Now, let's see if you can get lucky over here. Well, I did not get lucky at all. But it's fine. I'm used to that happening every night. So really, nothing new for me. My pipe finally gave out now. And since we are at McCoy's, the axe will be appropriate. And who knows, maybe these guys in here will have a spare for me. Though, seeing how trash it is, I kinda doubt it. But again, stranger things have happened. Just not today. This front one seems unlooted though, so fingers crossed there's good shit in there. Spoiler alert, besides some food in the trash and a half-broken spade, there was no good shit here. Which means it's now time to leave. And we're gonna be taking the back roads all the way to West Point. This might not end up being the smoothest ride, but it is what it is. I did find an empty gas can on this car, so that's gonna be useful. If I can find more cars with some gas in there, I can then siphon them. Like maybe this one right here. Nope. Or maybe this one right here. Also nope. Well, we made it to the outskirts of West Point now. And this house right here, I'm gonna make my own. It might take some killing to do so, but I will do so. Hopefully this is the last one. Well, he wasn't quite the last one, but looks like we are now in the clear. And now we can go rest before we attack West Point tomorrow. Strong Woman now has everything she needs to succeed. She has katanas for the Louisville hordes, and she's got the sledge to get into the big city the safe way. But she's not there yet. West Point lies ahead, and it's notorious for its dense zombie population. Besides, there is bound to be another military blockade on the exit bridge to the west, and the options to bypass it will be minimal. But if she can make it through, then Louisville is just ahead, and with it, a chance for extraction.